Today's video about electrolytes and why we need electrolytes on ketogenic diet. In the first weeks of transition to ketogenic diet, your body loses a significant amount of water. As water with electrolytes is processed through the kidneys, it can then affect the electrolyte balance. Electrolyte supplements contain sodium, potassium, magnesium, and chloride. People following a ketogenic diet should increase their consumption of electrolytes to prevent unpleasant symptoms like headache, muscle cramps, and fatigue. Let's start from sodium. Sodium has 23 atomic units weight, and sodium chloride has 58.44 gram per mole. For adults, it is officially recommended to consume up to 2.3 gram of sodium. However, on the fat or on the ketogenic diet, the need for sodium increases up to 5 gram or 5 gram of sodium or 12.7 gram of sodium chloride. So if we look at this plot, at this graph, we will see that with recommended amount of sodium 2.3 gram a day, we yet have mortality ratio higher than optimal. The best health, the longest life will be with amount of sodium per day 5 gram per day we see. Yeah? And even if we take twice more, 10 gram per day, it is not yet, we are yet in good area, so that our health is not damaged. So government give us too little recommendation of sodium. So this is a crystal of sodium chloride, and potassium along with sodium and chloride is one of the three elements that any person needs in large quantities. The potassium content in the human body is large. It is 220-250 gram, while the highest content is in the cells and only 3 gram is in extracellular fluids like blood. So why it is so important? Because for functioning of our body, we need sodium-potassium pump working. Sodium-potassium pump, it is in membranes of our cells, and how it works, it is pumping kalium ions to inside the cell and potassium ions outside the cell. And it is fuel, as a fuel, adenosine triphosphate I used. The discharge convert to adenosine diphosphate, and we have this pump working. If this pump will not work, we will die. And up to 30% of energy that our body gets from burning of carbohydrates and proteins and fatty acids, we are using to work for these pumps. Without the pumps, we cannot operate. And if we have not enough amount of potassium, for example, we also can die, and our muscle cells cannot contract, our heart cannot beat, cannot work. Okay, let's see potassium. Potassium has 39 atomic unit weight, and potassium chloride is 74.6 gram per mole. And for comparison, potassium citrate is 300 gram. This is just to show that if we need large amount of potassium, we better use chloride, which is not so heavy. Otherwise, we need potassium citrate up to 78 gram per day. This is too much, I believe, certainly. While with potassium chloride, we need about 9 gram per day, and maybe up to 19 gram a day. So as adults, it is recommended that we have 4.7 gram and up to 10 gram of potassium per day. So look here, we need a lot of potassium to function. A lot of potassium, please mind. So And this is a crystal of potassium chloride. They look very nice. And okay, that again, recommended daily intake of potassium is 3-5 gram, or if we convert it to potassium chloride, it is 5.7 up to 10 gram of potassium chloride. The upper limit of the potassium intake actually not established. Why? Because our body very efficiently can rid out of the potassium with urine, and so we don't have any problem. And if we have excessive amount of potassium, it is just not going to inside our body, but gets through and with food and get out. So don't be afraid to take too much potassium salt or potassium chloride. It is absolutely safe. So the need of potassium increases with heavy physical and emotional stress, heavy sweating, and drinking too much water, especially during hot season, for example. And okay, if we compare with sodium, and if we compare with sodium, sodium we need officially recommended 2.3 gram, and for ketogenic diet 5 gram or 12.7 gram the potassium sodium chloride, and and here for we have the recommended doses at potassium chloride up to 10 gram for normal diet, and much more for ketogenic diet. In most physiological processes, potassium acts as antagonist of sodium. Therefore, to maintain good health, it is necessary to keep the ratio of sodium to potassium in the diet in the range of 1 to 2 or up to even 1 to 4. 4 times more potassium than sodium we have to consume, or at least 2 times more than sodium. So you see, we need a lot of potassium. And again, don't be afraid to take too much potassium with food, because it just goes through and will be excreted out. So if we follow recommendations and eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, we get enough of potassium. Like 1 kilo of potassium, 1 kilo of vegetables and fruit very easy give us a necessary amount of potassium. But when we change into ketogenic diet, so and then again we have to exclude quite many vegetables and fruits, like high sugar fruits, dried peas and beans, starchy vegetables, and then we will reduce intake of the potassium and we will have not enough of potassium to our body. So then this hypokalemia can be developed when the body has a low level of potassium, and then it will produce many problems, and symptoms are following: irregular heartbeat, muscle weakness and muscle cramping, glucose intolerance, extreme fatigue, physical and emotion fatigue, constipation, nausea and vomiting. So, and we can lose potassium for example, if we drink too much. So why we have such interesting situations that we need potassium more than sodium? Because in the past, when our ancestors, like primates, they were eating a lot of fruits, vegetables, leaves, grass, flowers, roots, and other plant sources, and only so we were getting more than 11 gram of potassium a day from this vegetable food, and only 700 milligram of sodium. That is sodium to potassium ratio at that time, when we were primates, when we were living on vegetarian vegetable diet, then it was 1 to 16, imagine. Then when we change completely to eat meat, our diet changed, and we were getting enough of sodium and potassium with the ratio in the range of 1.1 to 2 sodium to potassium, and up to 1 to 4, so 4 times more potassium than sodium. But nowadays, because our body developed so that we are saving sodium, and we are craving for sodium always. We like the salted food. We like it so much that normally we are getting more sodium than potassium, and the ratio normally is 1.4 to 1. So we will look at this table, and we see that banana has ratio potassium to sodium 400, while potatoes is 54 to 1, such ratio. But if we take French bread, which is a normal part of our diet, bread, we have opposite, 5 times more sodium than potassium. 5 times more sodium than potassium. This is not healthy at all. But beef and pork, the meat, we have good ratio of potassium to sodium. It is for beef 5.6, for pork is 4.9, so it is good. So even if we add some amount of salt, the potassium chloride, it is not so, it is okay. It is yet in healthy zone, in healthy diet. So with fish, also good ratio of potassium to sodium, 2.8 and 3.4 more potassium than sodium. But again, cheese, our part of our modern diet, is ratio completely different, in 1 to almost to 9 times more sodium than potassium. So look, so our modern diet is so much deviates from healthy diet, and this is no wonder if people are changing the diet to carnivore diet with consumption only for animal products, only meat. We're getting healthy food, or if it is vegetarian diet, or it is fruitarians and vegans, then they are getting a much higher amount of potassium, and this is probably explanation why these people are feeling well, and vegans are so much excited that they started to feel well, and then it is no wonder they just getting enough of potassium, and previously they were this was fatigue, this was unhealthy feelings, and a lot of problems with standard American diet. When they change to vegan diet, they're getting more potassium and then sodium, and this is healthy. So we have to think, okay, how we can, in easy way on ketogenic diet, get more potassium to sodium ratio. It is actually easy and cheap. So look again at this, what food, this is here amount of potassium, and here amount of sodium, and the 1-to-1 ratio, it is this line. And we see that in modern diet, we are getting so much more sodium than potassium. We should be in this area, and no one of modern food have such ratio of potassium to sodium. So no wonder that if people are changing to carnivore diet, or changing to ketogenic diet with some amount of vegetables, or if it is vegan diet or vegetarian diet with a lesser amount of grain in the diet, but larger amount of vegetables and fruits, then we are moving to this area. We are moving to the healthy diet, healthy ratio of electrolytes, and we are feeling much better. So it's actually so easy to get from this area, unhealthy diet, to this area, healthy diet. Okay, so again, we just have to take care. So for me, yet it was a problem to find these salts of potassium, because you cannot buy it in a grocery store. So you cannot find it easily, because It is just not available. Food quality potassium chloride is just not available. So I was ordering it from Shop of Chemicals 2 times, and the delivery takes time, and every time I ordered and I paid, and then I got delivery and there was no potassium chloride inside. So they said, sorry, we don't have potassium chloride, it's already sold. Okay, then eventually I got this pack 1 kilo of potassium chloride from internet. It is used as food additive, so quality is good enough, and it is potassium chloride produced in Japan. So okay, so it's important to find somewhere good quality potassium chloride. In America, some companies produce even such salt, which has about sodium to potassium of about 1:1, little bit more sodium than potassium. But anyway, it is even better. I mean, not even better, but it is actually a little bit better than to have potassium to sodium 1:1 ratio than with much more sodium than potassium. So, okay, then this is just an example that how we can get more potassium, just blending sodium chloride and potassium chloride, and if we will take ratio not 1:1 but potassium 4 times more than sodium, we will get very nice salt, which I like actually much more than the normal salt, sodium chloride, and I enjoy it much more than normal sodium chloride. Okay, magnesium. And again, magnesium is necessary for our body. It is present in bones and gives some elasticity to bones, so that especially in older age, when we have deficit of magnesium, our bones can be fractured, can be damaged, especially if in hips, or then people just die. They cannot walk in, they have inflammation after this, and then they're just dying very quick. So please mind to have enough of magnesium, and we need not so much. Again, magnesium and magnesium is very important. It regulates content of glucose in blood. It is reducing high pressure, blood pressure. It is provide again flexibility, I mean strength to bones, and improves the digestion. Well, and if you don't have enough of magnesium, the symptoms are following: muscle cramps, and I'm making okay, heart palpitation and low blood pressure, sleep problem, insomnia, muscle cramps here, and spasm. Okay, spasm, and anxiety, headache, nausea. Okay, then what is the recommended intake? It is officially, okay, 1/2 gram of magnesium. But again, question is, what kind of salt will you use? For me, it was more easy to buy magnesium chloride hexahydrate. It shop this chemical components, and it is relatively clean. It is with good content of magnesium chloride. So, and if I use this magnesium chloride tetrahydrate, hexahydrate, pardon, with 6 molecules of water, I need per day about 4 grams of magnesium, and this is not much. And even if I take more, this magnesium just we flushed out with urine, not a problem at all. So don't think it is anyhow dangerous to take more than 4 grams. But 4 grams it's a lot already. So okay, the need in magnesium increases in hot environment, under stress, during hard physical training and physical work, and especially if you drink a lot of water. With urine it gets out very easy. So mind that at least we need 4 grams of magnesium salts, and you can use organic salts for this purpose, maybe sometimes better. And better again also to take magnesium before sleep, before you go to bed, because magnesium helps to relax muscles, and then you sleep better. So you sleep better, and so Magnesium. Okay, so not necessary to blend it with with potassium chloride and sodium chloride. Just take it separately. Well, here's a photo of magnesium chloride hexahydrate, such nice crystals. And magnesium deficiency, as I said, it is manifested in spasm and cramps, headache, insomnia, depression, heart rate disturbances, and increased level of cholesterol, bad cholesterol. Okay, then what is we have to follow? We need amount of electrolytes in ketogenic diet. Potassium chloride up to 19 gram a day. Potassium chloride 19 gram a day, or minimum 10 gram a day. So a lot of potassium, a lot. Sodium chloride maximum up to 12 gram a day, and it is necessary to keep ratio of sodium to potassium. So 1 to 2, 1 to 4. Remember this. If you take less than 12 gram of sodium chloride, reduce little bit amount of potassium chloride, but sometimes it is not necessary, because potassium chloride is very easy, our body very easy gets rid of it, and if it is too much, it is just not going to our blood, but with food it is expelled, it is getting out, no problem. Magnesium chloride up to 4 gram. Okay, please mind, you need these supplements, you need these salts, electrolytes, a lot of them to be healthy. And what to do? What I do? At morning I drink some broth from this bouillon cube. Take a half of a cube with hot water, and I use potassium chloride and magnesium chloride little bit to the water, and mix it and drink. So, and even if you are fasting, or maybe especially if you are fasting, you have to drink this some broth, or it will be just water with solution of salts. But you have to take care. About everyday consumption of the electrolytes. Chloride we need for our stomach, and not so much, and we have more than enough. Okay, then as conclusion, I tell you that I make this video for educational purposes, and it may contain some copyrighted materials, but as it is, I have no money from this. It is just education, so I'm not violating any copyrights, and it is just science and information. It is nothing. Okay, and again, I would remind you that I am a scientist in physics and chemistry. My main specialty is chemical physics. So I understand physics, I understand chemistry, but I am not a medical doctor. I am not medical. I am doctor in science, in this physics. And then I cannot recommend you anything. I'm scientist, so what I am doing for myself. And I would recommend you go to your physician and talk with him. Maybe his advice will be different. I do it for myself, and I'm quite happy with this. I didn't go to physicians maybe last 15 years, and I feel well. And I do not see I need any advice of the physician, but it is personal to me. I do not give you advice such advice to you. So, yeah, just I don't take any responsibility. Okay, then if you was patient enough to get to this end of the video, thank you for your attention. I believe again that I give very important information. Maybe in future I will produce one more video on it, because it is so important to keep enough of electrolytes, enough of in the ratio of electrolytes, quite opposite what we are getting now with standard diet. So instead of more sodium, we have to consume much more potassium, 2-4 times more potassium than sodium. And we need at the ketogenic diet, we need much more electrolytes with sodium chloride up to 12 gram a day to stay healthy. And if we eat such large amount of salt, it is not a problem, not a big problem. but even much more of potassium we need in this case. And potassium very easy to expel away from your body, so don't be afraid. If you consume too much potassium, it just don't go to your blood, don't go to your body, it just gets out very easy. So don't be afraid. But again, I'm not afraid personally. But you talk with your physician. Okay, then share this information. I believe it is very important, especially in situations that we follow. If we follow standard diet, if we follow recommendations of some like World Health Organization, I don't know, that then we will get maybe something absolutely different, and then your health can be much improved if you will change this ratio of electrolytes, potassium to sodium, to opposite, to 2-4 times more potassium we need than sodium. Please mind. And also we need magnesium, otherwise we'll have problems. Okay, then, okay, have a good day, have a wonderful day. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your attention and for your time, and ciao.